Hello, hello. I am Challenger right now, playing Zed, and I thought to make a video of runes that I started using and actually started climbing with them because I was like this year anyways, I was kind of struggling a bit and then changed my runes and it did kind of help me, so I thought I should make a video just for everyone else in case it could help any of you guys and explain them as well. This is my OPGG. I mean, these years I played on different accounts, but I've been Challenger since Season 9. This year it took a bit longer in terms of games, but I still got there with a 60%, which is okay. But I've been winning here a bunch after sort of changing up my runes because I was losing. A bunch over here as well. So I thought I should talk about the runes and just give my thoughts on Season 14, Zed, State of Zed, and the runes. Just in case it could help any of you guys. That would be great. Okay, so let's move on over here so we can get a look at the runes. So for mid lane Zed, this is the rune page I like to take in most games right now. So First Strike, Magical Footwear, Futures Market, Cosmic, Presence of Mind, Lost Stand, Double Adaptive, and Scaling Health. So for this rune page, there are a couple of differences that I think a lot of people like to take, which is different from me. So Tonic, I was taking Tonic for a good while as well, thinking it was good, but I don't think it's good anymore. It seems good with all the stuff you get from the elixirs, but I can kind of explain why I don't think it's good. So footwear gives you 300 extra gold, basically, or 300 less gold that you need to spend, as well as 10 extra movement speed after minute 10 or so, give or take. 10 extra movement speed on top of your boots, so that's great. So that's always going to be good in every game, every single situation in every game. The movement speed is going to help you get to minions faster and stuff, and the gold is going to help you complete your items faster. Roughly about 30 seconds or like 30 to 60 seconds faster in the early to mid game, and then a little less in the late game where you can take resources faster. If you think about it, it takes about 2 waves to get 300 gold if we're not counting kills. So Tonic gives you level 3, it gives you that 40 gold thing, which is decent actually. So this is only what, 260 gold if you compare it to this. And then the question is 260 gold and 10 movement speed better than the level 6 and level 9 Tonic? And I think so. So with the level 6 Tonic, you get a 20 AD potion, which, you know, it seems good. It's going to give you like damage. Yeah, you can kill your opponent easier with that potion. You might be able to solo kill them, but the problem is pretty much there, where a lot of situations, or some situations in games at level 6, it's actually unfavorable to try and go in and to have something which incentivizes you to go in and make you sort of a bit more predictable. I don't think is very good. So the predictability aspect, where they can see, okay, well, Zed has Tonic, he's going to go in at level 6 here probably, or around level 6 to level 9, he's going to try and 1v1 me, which is not as good as, in my opinion, waiting for skirmishes. And usually in those skirmishes, you like the 20 AD doesn't actually matter. You would kill someone without the 20 AD, and if you're going in and you need the extra 20 AD to kill the person, it's kind of troll. It's probably just a bad fight. So that's the logic on it. And, you know, it adding the predictability to like your decisions in the game makes it kind of bad. And then also the situations, right? So some situations you're going to want to go in and it's going to be good, but it's just going to be not too many situations, because the 20 AD usually isn't going to give you the kill, right? You're still going to kill them, basically, is the logic. And level 9, you get the potion, which is an extra skill point, so you have like more damage in your E, faster, I guess, just for that one little level, like level 12 or something, so you get level 13. And then your W is also 1 point faster, but with Assassin Zed, I don't think the W cooldown is as important to have low, so it's kind of whatever as well. If you think about the situations where having your W cooldown just a little bit lower that it gives you, or the extra damage from E, actually mattering in a game is quite little, in my opinion. So I think it's a new bait rune, basically. Whereas footwear is good in every single game. Or it's going to be good in every single game once your boots come through, basically. So in every single situation of League of Legends, in any game, basically. And that's why you take that, because you can't really know what's going to happen in a game until you play through some of the game, and then each game has its own sort of story. So that's why you take footwear instead of tonic. And some other differences in this rune page would be Transcendent Scorch is a very, very common one with First Strike, which I think is good as well. It's decent. This wasn't the bad part, I think. Mainly this part. Tonic versus footwear was pretty bad, but this was okay. Although I do like this more because Presence of Mind just giving energy. I'm still unsure about Presence of Mind versus Electrocute and Last Stand, but Presence of Mind seems more consistent than Last Stand if you think about, again, the sort of situation theory, I guess you could call it, that I sort of think about is how many situations in a game would it actually apply, right? Is alacrity mattering, and having more energy is, you know, potentially always going to be more situations where it matters, kind of something like that. And then Last Stand is actually good, I think, because it's very cheesy. On this season of Zed, I think you need to cheese a bit. So when you're, you know, like half HP, like usually like after I get Eclipse, I start trading more, and then we're both like half HP, and this gives me a bunch of damage basically, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good to kill them. And late game is also scaling, so this scales with the total percentage of your damage. Your damage is going to increase over the course of the game, so you're going to get more damage from this rune as you scale. So scaling is also really nice to have in general compared to this, which is more early game focused. So we take that, and that's what I usually take in mid lane Zed. But I also like to take Electrocute sometimes. So with the Electrocute page, I like to take this. Usually with Electrocute, I like to take Ignite. If I take Ignite, I take this. If I want to take Teleport, I like going Cosmic Insight whenever I go Teleport, because you go Cosmic and you get Ionian Boots, and your Teleport is on like a very ridiculously low cooldown, like 190 seconds, which is very close to Ignite as well, without any of the haste. But it's very good to have Teleport on such a low cooldown. But usually if I go Electrocute, I'm going Ignite with Transcendence and Scorch. Something here that a lot of people would take instead is Sudden Impact on this season. Like, yeah, lethality got buffed, this must be better, right? But again, it comes back to like the situation thing that I keep talking about. I guess I should make it like a theory, but how many situations would it actually matter having this extra lethality? And there's not many. The person is the champion that I'm attacking is likely going to die. If they don't die, then it's just a bad fight. Whereas taking Taste of Blood helps you a lot in the early game, in the learning phase. You can kind of stomp out melee champions a lot easier with Taste of Blood and Scorch. You can have some control in lane with your Ignite as well. I like to take this page against like only like LeBlanc though, when I need Ignite, because I think Ignite is good against LeBlanc as Zed. Usually that's like the only time I take this rune page actually. I can't quite think of any other champs. Or like taking Ignite. Sometimes I just take Teleport with Electrocute. I don't think this page is that good. I do like going First Strike instead. This is just basically if I feel like playing Electrocute. Really, it's not really a better or worse thing. Sometimes I'm just in the mood for Electrocute and I want to take Teleport though, and Magical Footwear and Cosmic. But usually if you do this, you're going to want to make sure that you're playing against squishy champs on the enemy team. So the enemy team should have like so very few threats, but like squishy mobility champs kind of, and also champs that proc your First Strike too much, so like range champs. But I'm trying to think of a situation or an actual comp, but I can't quite think. But basically champs that can proc your First Strike too much, you kind of do sometimes, I guess, want to go Electrocute against them, because if your first strike's just getting procced straight away, it's very not ideal, right? So you at least want a rune. But usually with first strike, you'll find a way to flank and not get it procced. So you do that, you take Electrocute and you try to kill someone with a flank. Just focusing squishy. That's something that's very key in this season, is focusing squishies over tanks, because you're now an assassin in this season, I think. Another rune to talk about in this page that is controversial, I guess, is Ultimate Hunter versus Relentless Hunter versus Ingenious Hunter versus Treasure Hunter. They're all, like, at least these three are kind of decent. I would never go Ingenious. I think that's just spells noob bait all over it. So Treasure Hunter is not good. I think the extra gold is kind of, like, it's good, but it's not really what you're looking for as Zed, since you kind of, you know, you go flash, you go ignite, you're playing Assassin Zed. The extra gold, it's nice, but it's not exactly what you need as Assassin Zed. As Assassin Zed, you kind of don't actually need too much gold. You just mainly need levels, and you kind of just need your ult up. So I like to go Ultimate Hunter, because I think having your ult up is very important when you're playing Assassin. And I mean, Relentless Hunter is also probably better than Treasure Hunter, so a lot of the controversy, I guess, would be these two. Relentless Hunter is okay, but not having your ult up again, like, it just feels, especially early on, feels worse. Not having your ults, you're just running around, it's okay, but Zed already has like a decent base movement speed, and when you get boots, you're still running at a decent speed. So yeah, it's just a bit extra that you don't need, because you get what do you get from this? You get 5 and then 8 per stack. Well, the 5 and the 8, like the initial like 13 movement speed is probably pretty good, but then each stack gives you diminishing returns, because on movement speed there's like a cap, or like a soft cap, where you get like diminishing returns on movement speed, something like that, like diminishing movement speed per unit, or like units per whatever. So just go Ultimate Hunter, whatever. For Jungle Zed, I was actually doing this really troll page for a while, just taking Dark Harvest as Zed, and it actually wasn't as bad as I thought, which was interesting, because I actually just expected it to be bad and I was just taking it for fun, but it ended up being okay-ish. If you like smurfing, it's probably good fun to take some Dark Harvest. And but this is the page I usually take now, and I just take it like all the time because it's very effective, I think. We take First Strike, we take Domination Secondary, because these are kill participation runes, and in jungle you can usually get the KP, kill participation, easier. You have more access to the map and the skirmishes and everything, the fights. So if you make your decisions correct, you'll get the kills and you'll kind of dominate. Jungle's quite easy, so if you're mid laner and you get autofill to jungle, don't worry. If you play Zed, it's easy. What you do is you go Blue Smite, you take this page, you ward opposite your red buff, so not opposite, behind your red buff, that bush there, you ward it at 112, and then you walk straight back to your blue, hopefully get a leash. You finish blue, you do Gromp, Wolves, Wraiths, full clear into red and Krugs, and then you can either recall and buy 2 long swords, or you just gank top or mid, or if you're bot lane, then gank bot or mid into Crab. There's a lot of options. You want to smite the Gromp you always want to smite the Gromp, and then your second smite on the Crab or the Krugs at the end. But jungle's very simple, so you just take this page and you just do that. Jungle players suck, so you better not lose against a jungle main, basically. Sorry, I don't like jungle mains. I'm kidding. Everyone is welcome. Hello, jungle mains. But that's basically all the runes that I like to take, and yeah, once I tweaked a bit of them that I showed, mainly tonic to magical footwear and what's the word? Taste of blood. So sudden impact to taste of blood. Actually, it helped a lot. So I just sort of took my own runes. I also took a certain build as well that I'll go through in the next video. Otherwise, this video will be quite long. It's already, I think, quite long. So next video I'll be talking about the build, It's mainly one very simple build or two simple builds, one each for, one for mid lane, one for jungle, keeping it very simple. You can check it out on my OPGG if you'd like, but I'll be going through it and explaining it too. But yeah, the main part of Zed this season, in season 14, it seems like we have to play like an assassin, so things are different than last season. So I'll need to update a lot of stuff, I guess. I do have matchup videos, but they're kind of outdated, so I'll probably make some more, of course, with the new builds and stuff. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, right. So in the future, I mean, this video, I guess, is only for now. What is it, like the 16th of March, 2024? It's season 14. I don't know what patch, like 14.5, I'm not too sure. So in terms of runes, though, like in general, in the future, just a tip if you want to figure out your own kind of build or your own kind of rune or rune page and what would be good. I think it's good to think about, I think I talked about a few times in this video, the, I guess, situation theory, I don't know what to call it, but think about the situations or the amount of situations something is likely to be useful in, right? So boots, it's a good example. It's always going to be useful, having extra movement speed, running to minions, 300 extra gold, that's always going to be good every single game. So whereas this, I talked about that situation thing. So in the future, if this, video becomes outdated, I'm sure it will, then think about that. Think about the situations, think about your runes and how applicable they'll be in all the situations in terms of helping you, like actually helping you, although it's hard, it's a bit tricky to think about. But yeah, basically just think about that, like the amount of situations, like, if you're behind or ahead, or even if you're playing against LeBlanc or Aurelia or Malphite or Gragas or, all these different situations. Like whatever you're playing against. And usually it's easy to keep it simple as well, like I did, I think, kind of in this video with my pages. Yeah. Actually, another thing about the situations and sort of thinking if it's going to be, or if a rune is going to be applicable and like good in all situations, you also have to take into account it's not going to be so simple as like AD. So just because you have like, extra AD, doesn't mean like, so it's going to be good, don't get me wrong, but compared to what you could have, instead of having just like an extra whatever amount of AD, it's not good, right? Because even though that's going to be applicable in all situations, how effective is it going to be in all situations as well? It's something to take into account. So how often, so how many situations it will apply, or the rune being good, or the rune will apply, and then also how effective that actually is, like that actual rune. So think about those two things, and that's how you formulate like good runes, in my opinion. I think this video is super long just for a runes video, but I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope I hope everything's great. What else? I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever you're watching this, whoever's watching this. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. See you guys next time.